Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to my video, and today we're here for another severe weather breakdown, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with the SPC outlook for today, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather down here in the southeast, so let's go ahead and break down the threats that this brings. Now starting off with the tornado threat for today, we do have a 2% risk of a tornado here, especially for the cities of Charleston, South Carolina and Wilmington, North Carolina, so look out in those regions. Moving on to the damaging wind threat, we do have a 5% risk of wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher. This extends all the way down from Jacksonville all the way back up into Wilmington, so look out for that. Hail threat today, we currently do not have any large risk of hail, but some small isolated hail is still possible. So let's go and move on to tomorrow, where we do already have another marginal risk of severe weather here, including Amarillo in Texas. Tornado threat for tomorrow, very low, no tornadoes expected. Damaging wind threat, we have a 5% risk of damaging winds of 60 miles an hour here tomorrow in this Brown region, so look out for that. Hail threat, we also have a 5% risk of hail of 1 inch or larger. This does not include Amarillo, Texas, so you're good there, but it still does include 22,000 people in that brown circle, so look out if you're in that region tomorrow. Now moving on to Tuesday, we already have a slight risk of severe weather, and if we go into the probabilities, we already have a hatched risk of severe weather as well. So the highest chances of you seeing severe weather on Tuesday are going to be in Altus, Oklahoma, Woodward, Oklahoma, Vernon, Texas, Elk City, Oklahoma, Weatherford, Oklahoma, and more. And those are the towns in this yellow circle with the line circle thingy here. That's called a hatched risk of severe weather. So that's the most likely region to see severe weather on Tuesday. And I mean, getting a hatched risk of a slight risk 3 days out is not common. And it makes me think that we could have a severe weather or even a tornado outbreak in this region on Tuesday. So we need to be looking out, especially if we're in that black circle inside of the yellow circle, but the rest of the yellow circle should look out too, and even the brown as well. You guys also need to be on the lookout on Tuesday. So moving on to the path for Lee and Nigel. Currently, Hurricane Lee is chilling up here near Harve Auber Island. It is currently a 45-mile-per-hour storm with some high waves, high winds, and heavy rainfall. It's going to continue to move off to the north and the east here. By the time it makes it to Newfoundland, it is still going to be a 45-mile-per-hour storm with some heavy rain and strong winds and high waves. And then it's going to continue to move off to the north and the east, and then it's just kind of going to take a turn straight east, where eventually it will finish its lifetime out in the ocean here around the 18th. So, yeah, if you're in Canada right now, specifically Atlantic Canada, you guys are probably going to be in the path of Hurricane Lee here, so y'all need to be watching out. This is not going to reach anywhere else, luckily, afterwards, so we're finally going to be done talking about Hurricane Lee soon, but it's still a little bit of a threat for parts of Canada, and we already have 1 death from Hurricane Lee. Hopefully we won't get any more, but yeah, so let's go and move on to Hurricane Nigel here, which is currently Tropical Storm Nigel. It's a 65-mile-per-hour storm. It's going to move off to the north and the west and eventually form into a major hurricane here with 115-mile-per-hour winds, and then it's going to take a straight turn north and luckily most likely not make impact on the U.S. like it was projected to at one point, and instead it's going to turn off to the north and the east, and as far as we can see, it's only going to be a 70-mile-per-hour storm, but I'm guessing that this has a chance at least to reach like Ireland and the United Kingdom, and it's looking like it's heading straight for them as of right now. So in those regions, y'all need to be looking out, because within the next couple weeks, you could be seeing post-tropical cyclone Nigel here making impact on you. So moving on to the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, that's September 23rd to September 27th. Above average temperatures are likely here for the upper Midwest. You have a 60 to 70% chance to see above average temperatures. This has been sitting here for a while now, this heat dome has, and it's not going away anytime soon. And then here for portions of southern Texas, we also have a 60 to 70% chance to see above average temperatures, so look out for that. Looking like you guys are going to get one last major heat wave before fall starts. Below average temperatures are expected for the desert southwest here, 40 to 50% chance to see below average temperatures here, specifically in like the Death Valley region, close to San Diego, Las Vegas, and northwestern Arizona, so look out for that. You guys might get an early start to fall. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook here. We have a large area on the west coast and the east coast that both have a 50 to 60% chance to see above average precipitation from the 23rd to the 27th, which kind of shows that there's going to be, I don't know if I'd call it tropical activity, because it's not like tropical storms or hurricanes, but just a lot of storms out in the ocean that could form into a tropical cyclone. So coastlines, the west coast and the east coast, you have a very high chance to see above average precipitation. Central U.S., you also have a massive area that has a 40 to 50% chance to see above average precipitation. And then below average precipitation is likely here for the four corner states, pretty much. 40 to 50% chance to see below average precipitation, so look out for that. Drought conditions likely to happen in that area. Moving on to the 8 to 14 day outlooks, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, our heat dome remains nearly stationary here and gets even stronger in this portion of Minnesota, North Dakota, and very northeastern bits of South Dakota here, where you're going to have a 70 to 80% chance to see above average temperatures from the 25th to October 1st. We're now forecasting all the way into October, and it's still going to be hot here, especially in the upper Midwest, so look out for that. Still going to be relatively hot here down in southeast Texas as well. You have a 60 to 70% chance to see above average temperatures. And then down here in the desert southwest, you have a 40 to 50% chance to see below average temperatures. So look out for that. Moving on to the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, we still have above average precipitation likely here in this region. That's a 50 to 60% chance to see above average precipitation in that darkest shade of green there that extends all the way up into Washington, all the way down into California. So look out for that. And then we have a 40 to 50% chance to see below average precipitation here near the four corner states in the desert southwest. And it's kind of odd because there's no like tan shaded color, as you can see outside that indicates a 33 to 40% chance to see below average precipitation. It just jumps straight to a 40 to 50% chance, which is very rare, and it might be a glitch. So just outside of this dome as well, maybe expect some below average precipitation, but I don't know, because there are pretty thin lines in between the below average precipitation region and the above average precipitation regions, so I'm really not too sure. Watches, warnings, and advisories as I'm filming this video. Air quality alerts scattered across Texas, southwestern Iowa as well, so look out for that. Some flood advisories here in the four corner states. Red flag warnings in effect for portions of Montana, Washington, Oregon, and even down here in Louisiana and southeast Texas, so look out for that. That's pretty much it for right now. We do have some storms over here in South Carolina, but those aren't anything super crazy. We do actually have one severe thunderstorm warning in effect, though, so I guess I should mention that. Severe thunderstorm warning for Summerville, South Carolina, not quite up to Moncks Corner, South Carolina, so look out for that. Now let's go ahead and end off here with the National Hurricane Center. We already talked about Hurricane Lee. We already talked about Hurricane Nigel. Hurricane Margot here is not going to affect anybody, most likely. Maybe some strong gusty winds, high waves in these little islands over here near the United Kingdom. But other than that, not much to talk about. This disturbance has a 40% chance to form the next 7 days, but we have no idea what it's going to do. And it's definitely not going to do anything for at least a while. Eastern Pacific, we have a disturbance that has an 80% chance to form the next 7 days and a 40% chance to form the next 48 hours. And we need to be watching this one because this one could definitely impact Hawaii. It's looking like it could head that direction, and it could be pretty strong, and it has a very good chance to form at some point. So definitely be on the lookout, Hawaii, for some tropical activity. That's pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Tuesday, we still are expecting a decent scale severe weather event, potentially even classified as a severe weather outbreak, so look out here in Oklahoma and Texas on Tuesday. But other than that, that's pretty much it, so see you in the next one. Peace.